Sounds like you got
Welcome
it.
you all to the Carriage House Theatre. I think what happened is everybody left the barn theater and went out to the front lawn. And so I think the way we're going to do this is we're going to start by calling
Yep.
the speakers up. And all of the speakers may sit just along the front of the theater. And I have a feeling our audience will grow and our panel will grow as we have our conversation. But it seems like we should get started so we have enough time. So if you're a speaker and you've participated in a project, please come and join us on stage. Yay! Our speakers are here. I'd like you to know that we have a live streaming web of your conversation. So your information is being captured and sent out to the world. It's been a treat having you here today. It's been especially fun for me to see the projects you've made and to see the performances. You guys were wonderful. Can you cut the sound? Thank you. So my name is Kelly Seacat. I'm the director of the Lucas Artist Residency Program. I'm also very involved in our education programs at Montalvo. And this year's Student Arts Festival, we asked the students to think about sustainable communities and what it means to have a sustainable community and what it looks like, what it might be.
So what did you put on your paper? Tell me what you put on your paper.
And our students came together. I was most thrilled about the groups that brought their whole school together, but there's a lot of individual projects that came together. And I want to introduce my colleague from the Santa Clara County Office of Education, Lisa Gonzalez, and thank you for your partnership and for being here with me today. And I think we're going to let the students introduce themselves, and then we're just going to ask you some questions. And you might have questions for us, and the audience may have questions for you. So I'm going to start here. If you'll introduce yourself and pass the mic down, tell me your name, the name of your project, and oh, perfect. Here comes another one of our speakers. Come on, dear. Okay, so I want to know your name, the name of your project, and if you were involved with the school you came from, okay?
My name is William. The name of our project is the Sustainable House, and I come from St. Andrew's School. My name is Rocio. I have no idea what my.
Okay, you can just say what school are you from?
Indigo. Hello, my name is Sharon, and my project is dyeing clothes, and I am from Indigo School.
My name is Ryan. I'm from Fisher Middle School, and we did the Egyptian ABC book.
My name is Isabel, and I'm from Frost Indigo, and I'm doing about six.
My name is Thomas. I'm from the Indigo program, and I did the Metakuya, Rias, and Totem.
My name is Havana Coleman, and I'm from School Park High School, and I did the For the Children, by the Children, with the Children project.
My name is Elijah. I come from Indigo, and I worked on the totems.
I'm Matthew, and I come from the Indigo Frost program, and we worked on the totem projects.
I'm Allison. I'm from Lee High School, and my project was Our Future Blurred Borders.
My name is Kiana. One Love, Ellis Elementary School.
And I'm Brittany, and I go to Prospect.
I'm Ava, and I'm from Cupertino Language Immersion Program, and we worked on the mandalas.
Well, first of all, I want to say that you all did a tremendous job, and please join me in thanking all of the adults and the teachers that worked with you. Thank you. Before we begin, we have a lot of our Indigo Frost students up here, and I'm just going to ask as politely as I can that if somebody comes from one of the other groups and needs a chair, that one of you could even sit near me over here on the side,
right? Or near me. I'm a little lonely.
So there were so many different projects. I was curious how you came to these various projects. For instance, Fisher and the Egyptian project, and how you felt it tied in. And then I'm thinking about the Indigo project, and especially the Indian totems and some of these. So maybe, would any of you like to talk just about how you came to the idea of your project and how it ties in with the theme for today?
We thought, a couple years ago we started doing we made these totems, and we started thinking, how could a group of 3 people bring home the same totem? So we thought maybe if everyone made their own totem, and as a sustainable community, we bring it all together as one, and so everyone can bring home their own part of the totem. So that was that was our project.
Building on his words, the name of the totem project was Mitake Oisan, which means all our relations, and the theme was how the community at large can remain sustained through their art, and that was generally what we built on.
The first class to come up with the name was the 6th grade class, Mr. Guerra's class at Frost. They came up with the Indian word for all our relations again, and we thought that that would be a good example of this sustainable community where all the little individual totems come together into these big, cool totems.
Would you like to say anything about your project? No? Nothing? When they arrived, these houses, do you remember the name? Sustainable dwellings? They were made out of recycled materials, and we thought that they'd be great in our gallery, because we just so happen to have a group of artists in the gallery right now who are all working in recycled materials. So that was kind of a treat. Can you say anything? Lisa, do you have a question?
Well, I have a question for you. For the people that might not have seen that exhibit, and I just saw that exhibit within about the last half hour, can you tell us some of the materials you used and where you got them from?
I used iron to make a boat, and we got basically all the materials from our art teacher, Mr. Souter, and I think he picked them up off the street.
And sometimes teachers do that because they're ultra creative. And as we're looking at these pictures in the background, you can certainly see what some of the students, so students, you may not be able to see this behind you, but we see many of your smiling, busy faces back there as you created this artwork, and it's been fascinating to look at the process that some of you went through. And I'd like to turn here to One Love, because they're one of the last couple of groups that was up on the stage. Can you tell us how you thought about what you were going to do and how you practiced and how you came up with the phrases?
Well, we thought, my aunt Arlene thought of the phrase One Love, and we kind of turned that into, how do we show respect? How do we show respect and work together in a community? And a band of my siblings and my cousins, we already had a song called Respect by Aretha Franklin. So we tied that together and we played that. And then some of my cousins over here played a little samba. And then this one and my little sister also wrote a poem about how to show respect.
And I love that poem, so I want to talk to you a little more about that poem. So you would say respect, and then your cousin would say something else. And I remember one part, it was respect the homeless and respect the snow leopards. And how did you decide on those? Do you like snow leopards?
Yes.
So did you sit down and think about the ideas?
No.
Or just immediately?
I thought about
with them.
You guys are really good thinkers. How old are you?
6.
I'm impressed with the composure of 6-year-olds these days. Thank you. Who else wants to tell us a little bit about the process they went through? Why don't we start down here? Why don't you tell us again your project and what you did and how you got to it? And maybe the hardest part too. That's always important to know.
What was your project?
It was,
There it is. Were these yours right here? Are these your pictures?
yeah,
Tell us what you did. What materials did you use?
we used manila, like paper that was, paper, scotch tape, and then we used like probably some old newspapers and paper mache to actually make it hard so we can paint it and like glue on hair.
You painted with nail polish?
We painted it with like, I think it was acrylics.
How long did it take you from beginning to end?
Mm,
1 day, 1 week, couple of weeks?
it was a couple of weeks, I think.
Do you want to pass the microphone to the person next to you? What project did you do?
We did dyeing.
You did petite?
Yeah, we did batiks.
I've never done that before. How did you do it?
We recycled, we used soy wax and heated it up and we put it on materials, silk, and we did a design and then we dyed it with dye and we put it and we brushed it on without the bottle and we made our own batiks.
And you all were able to see those on the backs of the stages and down in the grassy area, and they were absolutely beautiful. You did wonderful work. Thank you.
Thank you.
We made Egyptian funeral masks, and we had to get our face plastered shut.
That doesn't sound like fun. Tell me more about that.
Oh, well, it was actually really fun. So we had nose holes, because I'm still alive today, so there's obviously some hole, and our friend would put plaster on our face and rub it around, and it would give us texture, and then we made our Egyptian funeral mask from that. And then we left it in the sun to harden, and then we spray painted them gold, and then we painted on them.
What grade are you in?
6.
So does that tie at all with any other subjects you're
Yes,
studying?
we were studying ancient Egypt, and so that ties in.
That's great. Have you all seen the ancient Egyptian masks? They're in the billiards room of the villa, which is they've transformed that space, so you should go and find them when we're done.
The process for the clay totem. First, we made a symbol, and then we turned it into an insignia, using things that we liked or that were involved in our life a lot. And so then, a couple weeks later, when we were done with that, we got clay out and we built, we made the insignias that we drew previously. Then, once we were done with that, we put them in an oven to bake. And unfortunately, several people had to remake theirs because if the clay was too thin, it would crack in the oven. So yeah, a lot of people had to remake theirs, and then we painted them, and then we put them on the totem, and they're done.
Yeah. My mother, she has this beautiful goal
on how she's going to work with the children. And she took schools from Indigo and Frost, and me from Wilcox, and my little brother and his friends came from Sutter Elementary School to collaborate and help my mother. And she put all of us, the kids from Sutter Elementary School, and myself and my older sister, and we led and we divided into different groups to help with the stepping and the drumming. And it was a rough process, but it was worth it. Like, it was really good. And this whole week we've been working towards our goal, and since this whole week we were off, the Santa Clara School District was off on spring break, so we helped the kids from Frost and Indigo.
Tell us about the rough part of the process.
So there's a lot of little kids, and I didn't realize that there's going to be so many little kids. And it's beautiful to have a whole bunch of little kids, but in one space it gets overwhelming, honestly. But breaking it down and dividing into different groups really helped us, so that way we could not only single off that one student that really needed help, but help him understand and get better communication. Like, obviously I'm not doing something right, so let me do it a different kind of way. If you can't see it, let me break it down, let's do it together, kind of thing. And you know, connecting with little children, and that was rough because I'm not around them every day. I go to school with other older people every day, so it was really cool. I had a very fun time, a lot of energy, a lot of work, but I think the children, it really paid off for us. So that was the main thing, just getting to know the different people around me.
Well, we appreciate your help in that. It was a great performance. I want to ask somebody who's sitting over here about the mandala project, because that was fascinating. So I want to hear the process that you all went through to do this.
Well, first we collected CDs that we didn't need anymore, and we brought them into our social studies and Chinese class, and our art teacher, Miss Singh, she's over there. She brought some colored Sharpies and 3D paint, and we started, yeah, it's up there. Yeah, and we first colored it with Sharpies and wrote down our wishes on one side and qualities that we needed to achieve our wish on the other side. And we used 3D paint to highlight it, so it could be like pop out, and we strung them together. It was kind of funny because we would have people on chairs standing and trying to reach the roof so we could hang more, and it kind of brought us all together. So no, because I made 3. Like, I did really small ones and a big ones.
Do you remember anybody's wishes? I'm just curious.
Well, I know some guys put basketballs on theirs, and some people put peace signs, and yeah.
Very good. And we also had another one that was, I believe, directly behind the stage. Tell us about yours for anybody. It was kind of tucked away in a place, and I want to make sure that you can describe it to people who might not have seen it, and tell us the process that you went through.
So our project was called Our Future Blurred Borders, and what we wanted to show was people of all different ages and ethnicities coming together to sustain our earth and help the environment and just come together as a community. And so what we did was we went to our library, and there's all these bins of magazines that people have read and they didn't need them anymore, so they threw them in there. So we took them and we reused them to make a collage, and we made a huge collage of all different people and different nature scenes and all overlapping and coming together. And we made a peace sign out of mirrored squares to show how when you come together you can create peace and community. And the fact that those were mirrors, when you look in it you see yourself, and that's very important because you can see yourself as a part of this huge community and yourself as coming together with these other people to make the earth a better place. And around the edges, we used the rest of the poster board to make borders around it, because the title was Blurred Borders. So we wanted to blur the borders between different age groups and different ethnicities and different people, and between people and the earth, so that we can make a better, more succinct community. And we use pastels to do the titles, because pastels are very malleable and they can be smeared, like blurring. So that was our project.
Thank you very much. That's fascinating.
I'm curious if there's anybody in our audience from the Alum Rock Rhythms of Alum Rock project. They are down in the Grove of Generosity, and they have their fabrics. They've made banners, and they're hanging in the residency commons, but then they've been out with an art making project they built in, similar to the mandalas, in the Grove of Generosity, and they've been very busy all day long. So they're not here, which is unfortunate, so if you see them today, you might ask them some questions about their project.
So I think I have one last question. And my last question would be, now that you're done, and the event for today is pretty much over, if you were able to go back and do it a little differently, or change it in some way, what would that have been? How would you have changed what you did?
I would have wanted more time, or a better way of doing, to get organized. So that would be my main thing.
I want the lights not to shine in my eyes.
I always want that too.
Thank you.
I could have had more time if I wasn't playing around when I was also working, and I could have had a lot less people talking about how the paper mache was really gross. Because that would have really helped a lot. I would have liked to have more stuff to make supports, because a lot of things fell when I was making it. I also would like to have more time, because I was working after school because I didn't finish my dyeing something.
Well, some of us in our class were kind of crazy, so you don't exactly focus. You go, oh, what you doing tonight? Oh, yeah, I'm going, yeah, let's talk, let's chat online. Oh, yeah, yeah, and they don't pay attention. And then they suddenly remember, and then they start working. So we weren't really focused.
Maybe when we were sculpting the clay totems, I know my first model broke because it was too thin in the oven. So maybe if I could have made it a bit thicker, or for my second model, maybe painted it with a little bit more hue in the color.
Well, I thank you.